Now we're going to go a little bit backwards to basics, and we're going to look at the very basic group by clauses. We've done a lot of group by clause examples, but we've focused on functions. There are one or two little things that we need to know about a simple group by clause regardless of the function we're using. I've used count and sum through these examples, but that's not particularly relevant. So count the rows from the show table, 160. Count the rows from the show table and group by the category field. And we group by category. Now I'm actually going to count the rows from the show table, and I'm going to group by the category and the venue. So venue within category. So we can group by multiples. This one gives me an error. Well, let's read the error. It says not a group by expression. What it means is that this is not a group by expression because I have two columns that don't have an aggregation function applied to them, and I'm only grouping by one. So what's it going to do? It's going to freak out. It actually needs to be this one here, where there are two columns defined in the group by and two columns that don't have an aggregation applied to them. This query here is fine because it groups by the category and finds the category. It doesn't need a count function. And all it's really giving me is actually the category ID without the counter of how many there are. It's nonsensical. The same would apply to this one as well. It's just grouping. Really, actually, it's giving me the distinct categories here and the distinct venues here. If I do this example again, I take out the group by and I just do distinct category ID, from show, with the exception of sorting, I should get exactly the same result with this one here with the distinct clause as I do up there. 8 rows, 6, 28, 21, 12, 18. I can remember that off the top. It's exactly the same result. This particular example is a little bit pointless. This one is as well because it's not actually summarizing anything. It's kind of meaningless and actually means something else. So you would have to apply some kind of function to it. Obviously, summing up IDs, there's not much point in that. And again, the same issue there. All I'm really trying to show you is that whatever you put here, you have to put here in the select list. And also, in order to use the group by clause, you don't necessarily have to have a grouping function, but it makes sense to because it will be meaningless if you don't. Let's copy this text back into here. Select all. Store this, save it, and go on to the next movie.